Hi, and welcome back to English Lessons with Stephanie. This is Grammar Lesson 9, our first lesson on helping verbs, also called auxiliary verbs. You should already know what verbs are. We covered verbs in Grammar Lesson 1 on parts of speech. So next, let's think about what you already know about helping verbs. So pause the video, read these sentences, and see if you can find the helping verbs in these sentences. Each sentence has at least one helping verb. So here are the helping verbs in these sentences. In the last sentence, we have 3 different helping verbs: had, been, and didn't. In this slide, we see the 3 basic helping verbs. There are many more helping verbs, but these are kind of the 3 most important ones. So we're just going to cover these 3 in today's lesson: be, do, and have. So be, do, and have are 3 very important and very irregular verbs. They all have irregular past forms and irregular past participles. And be also has different forms for I, you, and he. But they're also 3 of the most common verb forms, so it's really important that we review and remember how to use these verbs correctly. Let's talk about what these helping verbs are used for, starting with be. We use be to create the continuous tenses. These are also called the progressive tenses. And 2 examples here are I am walking and he was singing. So these are the tenses that use the gerund, the ing form of the verb, after a be form. So before we can learn to create these progressive tenses, we have to know the present and the past form of be. Secondly, be is also used for the passive voice. As in this example, the photos were taken yesterday. So before we learn the passive voice, we also have to be very comfortable with how to use the present and past form of be. Finally, be is also used for questions, like are you happy? Are you walking? So any sentence that uses be as the helping verb will use be for a question. So if I say you are happy, to change it into a question, we would say are you happy? Next, we have the verb have. We use have to create the perfect tenses. So here are 2 examples of perfect tenses. We have seen that movie. That's the present perfect tense. She had written the email before she heard the news. That's the past perfect tense. So before we learn the perfect tenses, we have to be really good at using have in the present tense and the simple past tense. Have is also used for questions in the same way that be is. Since these 2 sentences use have, to make them into questions, we would also use have. We have seen that movie would become have you seen that movie? And she'd written the email before she heard the news would become had she written the email. Next we have do. Do is used to make questions. Questions that don't have a main helping verb like be and have will use do. So for example, do you know that man? Or did the children go to sleep? These sentences would use do to make questions. So sentences that don't have other helping verbs will use do to make sentences negative. We can't use not by itself. We always have to use a helping verb with it. Such as this example, I don't want any bread. Now let's use the helping verbs to answer questions. In these simple examples, you can see that we can just reuse the helping verb to answer simple yes or no questions. So, are you going to the doctor? You don't have to say, yes, I am going to the doctor. You could just say, yes, I am. Because they use the helping verb are, which is the be verb, in this question, you can use it to answer the question. In the second example, do your friends know me? Yes, they do. And in the third example, have you heard from them? Yes, we have. So now you try it. Is she a teacher? Yes, she. Did they enjoy the movie? Yes, they. And have you been to Mexico? Yes, I. Now let's talk about how to use helping verbs to make negative statements. To make be negative, all we have to do is put not after the verb. So if your main sentence uses be as its main verb, then we just have to put not after it. So I am hungry. Am is the present simple form of be. We just say, I am not hungry. Or in our second example, Kelly was here yesterday. Was is the simple past form of be. We just say Kelly was not here yesterday. Or they are my friends. Are is the simple present form of be again. So we just say they are not my friends. So let's try this. You are going to laugh, or it becomes you are not going to laugh. Just put not after the be verb. He is very friendly becomes he is not very friendly. Just put just put not after the be verb. We are ready to go becomes we are not ready to go. It's easy. Now before we go on, we have to talk about contractions. Contractions are when you put two words together, and negatives often use contractions. So in this chart, I show you how to use contractions with the helping verb be. There are two ways to contract using the helping verb be. You can put the subject and the verb together, or you can put the verb and not together. So for example, I am not can become I'm not. You can put the subject and the verb together, I and am. You can't put the verb and not together. It just sounds weird. When we use the are form, like you, we, they, are not, we can do both. We can say you're not or you aren't. You can say we're not or we aren't. They're not or they aren't. And these have the exact same meaning. When we use is not, we can also do both, contract the subject and verb and the verb and not. So she's not or she isn't, he is not or he isn't. But when we're in the past tense, we can't contract the subject and verb. So we can't say she's not to mean she was not. We can only contract the verb and not, she wasn't. And that's because if we contracted the subject and verb to make she's not or he's not for the past tense, it would be hard to tell if someone was talking in the past tense or the present tense. And the same is true for were. So you can't say you're not for the past tense, but you can say you weren't. So let's practice using contractions. So pause the video and take a minute to make contractions in the negative form. So here are the answers you should have come up with. So that's how we make be negative. Now let's talk about how we make have negative. It's very similar to be. All you do is you put not after the have verb. So if your positive sentence is I have been to Canada, you just change it to I have not been to Canada. Or May has called her father, May has not called her father. They had tried to help, they had not tried to help. So now you can try. You have lost the game. There is have as the helping verb here, so all you have to do is put not after it. You have not lost the game. He has gone to bed. Again, all we have to do is put not after the have verb to make he has not gone to bed. Or we had missed our flight. Here we have the past tense form of have, which is had, but we do the same thing. We just put not after had to make we had not missed our flight. Just like be, we can make contractions with have. And we again have two different forms. However, with have, there's a little bit of local difference. In British English, they're more likely to contract the subject and the verb. So they'll often say I've not, or you've not, or she's not, or I'd not. But in American English, we're more likely to contract the verb and not when we use have. So we say I haven't instead of I have not, or she hasn't instead of she's not. Notice in this middle column, she's not, he's not, it's not, has the exact same form of the contractions for is not. And that's totally fine. You can always tell what contraction is being used from the context, from the sentence. So again, let's practice. Pause the video and make these sentences negative using contractions. I put the American English forms first because that's what's more common in America. Using do to make negatives is the most complicated. Because these are sentences that don't have do in them, we can't just add not. We have to add the do verb and the not, and then we have to change the main verb to its general form. So this first example, I like donuts. There's no helping verb in it, so we have to add one. We add do, I do not, in front of the main verb, which is like. And the general form of like is also just like. So in this example, it doesn't change. So we just say, I do not like donuts. But who doesn't like donuts? That's weird. In our second example, Shay wants a dog. Again, there's no helping verb here, so to make it negative, we have to add a do verb. So the simple present form of do for a singular subject would be does. So we say Shay does not, and then we have to change wants back to its general form. So we just drop the S, and we have Shay does not want a dog. And in our last example, they ate lunch. There is no helping verb here, so to make this negative, we would have to add do plus not. And because ate is a past tense verb, it's the past tense of eat, we have to use did not instead of do not. And then we have to change ate back to its general form, which is eat. So they did not eat lunch. Now you can practice. Chinwa needs a new car. Right, so needs is the simple present form. We'll add a helping verb. So the correct helping verb to use with a singular subject in the present tense would be does. Then we add not after it. And then we have to change needs back to its general form, which is just need. So Chinwa does not need a new car. He plays the piano. So we have to add a helping verb here, which again would be do. And the singular subject gets does not. And then we change plays back to the general form, which would be play. He does not play the piano. And finally, they went to school. This is our past tense example. So we have to add a helping verb, and we need to use the simple past form, which is did. They did not, and then change went back to the main verb, which is go. They did not go to school. And finally, we also make contractions with do, but they're very easy. There is no way to contract the subject and the verb, so we only contract the verb and not. So we get don't, doesn't, and didn't. So again, let's practice. Pause the video and make these sentences negative using contractions. So here are the answers you should have come up with. Okay, so that's just a quick introduction to helping verbs. You'll need to do a lot more practice, so make sure you go to the website and download the Class 9 Grammar Worksheet so you can get more practice using the helping verbs. Thanks for joining me, and see you next time.